Shalom, shalom, man. Shabbat shalom. It's
Shalom.
dawning towards the Sabbath day, man. It's your brothers at the Hopeful Elect. Back with a Freestyle Friday, man. Salakia for the noise in the background, man. I wait for them to pass in the hallway, man. Yo, you could take him to the front or something? Salakia, man. But nonetheless, man, it's a Freestyle Friday. You see the title, man. The title is Samson Lost Control. Samson Lost Control. What we're going to be going over in this video pretty much is we're going to watch a video clip. You know, I like to try to keep the videos coming on these Freestyle Fridays. Shalom to the brother in the chat, the brother Baruch. Salakia, 1 second, man.
Shalom, Kings. Shalom, man. And Lord willing, it'll be a beautiful lesson. We'll touch on some good stuff, some edifying stuff for the nation. Oh boy, everybody have a Sabbath.
Come on, man. Lord's will, hope everybody bringing in the Sabbath day peacefully. Shalom to all the elders, man, leaders. Shalom to all the brothers and sisters that's tuning in during the live. And shalom to the ones that'll tune in after the live is over with, right?
Come on, man. I hope you guys had a chance to, or get a chance to reset, man, for the next week, the upcoming week. If you had a bad week, you know what I'm saying? This is time to reset, man. Hit that reset button even if you had a good week, man. It's a time to hit that reset button and hopefully carry it on to next week as well, man. Right? We go over this almost every week. The Sabbath is our Labor Day, and it happens every week, man. And take advantage of it. Take advantage of it.
Come on, man. Once again, shalom to the brother Baruch, man. Salakia, man. Had to get my house in order real quick. The brother said Freestyle Friday. Yeah, it's Freestyle Friday, man. I like to try to keep these video clips going that we can go into, learn something, you know, keep it interesting. So I got a video clip for us today. And then I also got some precepts and a passage to go over. Of course, you see the title, Samson Lost Control. So you know we're going to be going over Samson, right? And we're going to be going over playing with temptation or placing yourself in temptation, right? So, you know, without further ado, man, I want to give all glory and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who sent his son as an instrument of salvation for the nation, right? And that nation is Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes. Shalom to all the cleavers out there. Shalom to those that's, you know, keeping the commandments and enduring into the kingdom and making their calling and election sure. That's what we're doing over here at THE, the Hopeful Elect. Let me go ahead and share my screen. We're going to read the first precept, and then we'll get into the video clip. Right, this is Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. If the brother Denal can pop it off and read this.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11 says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Right. And this is going to go with the lesson because, you know, a lot of times people may say you may have an addiction, whether that addiction is alcohol, whether that addiction is drugs, whether that addiction is hanging around the wrong person, being in the wrong relationship, right? You may have an addiction that, if given the chance, it could turn your life into hell, right? But you keep telling yourself, I got it under control. I know my limits. I know what I'm doing. And then eventually you spiral out. Eventually, you know, you're giving over to that thing, whatever that addiction that you were playing with or temptation that you were playing with was, right? And so Ecclesiastes is telling us, man, just because that first time, you know, nothing happened, that second time nothing happened, just because you think you have it under control, best believe that judgment is still coming, right? That sentence against an evil work is still coming, right? Stop putting yourself in temptation's way. Now let's watch this video. This video is of now you gotta try the spirit by the spirit, but from from an eye view and from their countenance, one would say that they are Asian. But nonetheless, they are repping the Bible. So I guess we could say they're cleaving to the knowledge and the wisdom of the Lord. And I don't know what is going on. Everything was just working fine.
Hey man, it's a Sabbath day. Satan try to come and throw you off on the Sabbath, man.
Right, man.
So you gotta be patient.
Satan tried to throw you off, man. And he's doing a good job right now. But we're gonna do a better job and we're gonna stay on it. You feel me? Anyway, here it go right here, man. Y'all may have seen some of these brothers on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, but these Asian dudes, man, they talk about some stuff they got a podcast. And I want to just, tap in to what they're saying real quick, because I feel like it goes with this lesson.
So I've been reading the Bible a lot. Okay.
Brother said he's been reading the Bible a lot. Can y'all hear that?
Gone.
A little bit.
Gone.
Mm.
Let me see if I can raise it up. So the brother said he's been reading the Bible a lot, right? Shout out to the Cleavers, right? We don't have no problem with them reading the Bible, right? A lot of some Israelites get this truth and they don't even want the heathen to read the Bible. We don't got no problem with y'all reading the Bible, man. That's what y'all supposed to do, right? Y'all supposed to read the Bible and get the wisdom from our God and not from Fox News or CNN. I'm gonna keep playing.
And it says the one sin you can't fight is lust, right? Yeah. You have to run away from it. And the sense of it is where if you try to put yourself in a position to sin like that, you're likely to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're asking for it, being in a position that makes you vulnerable to it. So for us, let's say, or whoever, they're looking for something that they know could be dangerous or bad or whatever, this and that. Yeah. Putting yourself in that position for it to have a mistake or something go wrong or this and that, it's likely to happen eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Eventually, just because you don't get caught once or twice, eventually, if you keep putting yourself in that situation, whatever that situation may be, you're gonna get caught up, right? That's how in the world when you may have been fast, you may have been a girl and you went through a little season where you had a roster of guys you could call, then you end up getting caught up because eventually you're gonna slip up. Same thing for guys, a lot of guys, you going through a whole bunch of girls when you were young. Eventually you got caught up. You got, somebody caught what you were doing and you got exposed. Putting yourself in harm's way, eventually you're going to get harmed. And that's in anything in life, right? But at this point, we're just talking about sin and temptation. You keep putting yourself around people that's going to have you sin. You keep putting yourself in situations that may cause you to sin. You keep putting yourself around things that are tempting you from stuff that you did in your past, saying, I got it under control. And, it's not going to happen to me. Guess what? Eventually, it's going to happen. And it goes right into the story of Samson, which we'll read. But Samson was playing. He was playing with something he thought he had under control, until, harm's way caught up to him.
Especially keep recurring and doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. If you make, I guess, moves for you to never be in a position to even do it, you can't. You know what I'm saying? So one of the great things is this is a good example. Let's say you're on a diet and you want to stop eating sugar. Yeah. Then stop having snacks in the crib.
Somebody might be on a diet, they might, have snacks in the crib and be like, I can have them snacks in the crib. They're really for my kids, man. I can control myself enough, man. I'm not gonna go get them snacks. But eventually, man, you keep seeing that package. You see them colors on that package, on that box. You're like, man, looking kind of good. I know it's supposed to be for my kids, And then next thing you know, you half asleep or something, you know, you just go in there, you're not even thinking, you just grab it. Next thing you know, you eating it. You were supposed to be on a diet. It's because you should have never had them in the house in the first place. Sometimes in our life, there's certain things we shouldn't even have around us in the first place. It's things, it's actions that we shouldn't be doing in the first place. Because we know if it goes south, we got nobody to blame but ourselves, right? The precept that's been put in the chat says Ecclesiasticus 21:2. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent, right? The brother, the Asian brother on here, he said, fornication or lust is one of the sins that you can't fight. You have to run from it, right? This is kind of the understanding he got, right, when he was reading that and put it into his own words. Flee from sin, run from sin, from the face of a serpent. For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. You keep playing with it, it's gonna bite you, right? There's a precept that says wine is a mocker, right? At last it biteth like an adder, like a serpent. Meaning a lot of people that giving into alcohol, you come into the truth and you realize, oh, alcohol is not a sin. All our life they've been telling us that alcohol is a sin, right? And then you come into this truth and you like, man, I could drink alcohol. I just got to drink it in moderation. Before you know it, you tipsy. Before you know it, you slip kind of drunk. You drunk on the feast day. You drunk on the Sabbath. You drunk on the holy day, right? You slurring your words, can't walk straight. Why? Because you thought you had it under control until it bit you like a serpent. You thought you kept saying, I know my limit. I ain't no lightweight. Pull me up, op. You know what I'm saying? You getting another cup of wine, and you know that last cup was really too much. You say, I'm gonna just sip on this one though. I'm gonna put some ice in it to slow me down. No, you should have. Look, if you know your limits, you should know you need to stop. If you can control your temptation, you got to stop the temptation, right? The rest of it says, the teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion, slaying the souls of men, right? Because sometimes that lion hit you, man. A lion strike you in the neck, strike you in the head, you instantly dead. And the thing about it is, you don't see that lion stalking you. You don't see that lion lying in wait until it's too late, and now you're on your back, and you can't get him off, and you're dead, right? The brothers was just talking about it. What were we talking about this? Was it last night? Were we talking about a lot of these YNs be shooting up places, and they don't know that, man, you bring that gun involved, so you got your number one day. You start airing it out, people gonna be scared, whether you trying to hurt somebody or not. You shooting bullets, you got a bullet with your name on it. Somebody gonna be scared of you when you run past them, and they gonna gun you down. It might be a police officer, and now in a blink of an eye, it slayeth the soul of men. Your temptation, because you wanted to be a YN, because you wanted to be like the rappers, and you wanted to be cool.
And they say that saying, hey, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So you keep playing around, shooting, doing drive-bys and stuff like that. Don't think that ain't gonna happen to you. It's gonna come back at you. So it's facts.
Don't think that you're untouchable, because as we're finna get into it, you'll see that Samson wasn't even untouchable, right? Even men that were chosen by the Lord, by the Most High, and their anointing was noticeable, they weren't untouchable, right? So who are you to think that you're untouchable because you're in the truth now and you got the wisdom and understanding of the word, right? We got to get right, man. We got to get right, man, and stop playing with temptation.
Have snacks in the crib, you're good. Problem.
Salakia, you could be tempted to fear. Fear could turn you on, right? You could be like, man, I just love putting myself in fear and suspense, right? And so you do activities like jumping off of cliffs. Hey, I'm here to say jumping off a cliff is sin, because even Christ didn't jump off no cliff. He said, hey, look, I'm not going to tempt God. So hey, if Christ saying that, I don't care if you bungee jumping off of cliffs or what. I'm going to say, I speak as a man, but I'm going to say it's a sin. I don't think you should be doing that. But some people, they're addicted to the rush of fear, right? That's why they go to the horror movies. That's why they do these things, right? And you're gonna have your number one day, and it's no one's fault except for yours, right? So this temptation and lust can come in many different forms, man, of many different things, and you can only play with it so much, so long until Ecclesiastes 8:11 comes to fruition.
You're gonna have snacks. You're probably gonna have like chips, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Just run
desserts.
away from it completely.
Just don't put yourself in a position to even be able to have it or to even have that be a choice.
Yeah.
Now I think about it even more.
Damn,
That's
you're right.
low-key. Yeah, like this is actually in the Bible.
Yeah, I
fam.
know.
I think about it even more.
It's crazy that all these nations be trying to be like us. It's even in the Bible, fam. It's even in the Bible, twin. Yeah, like, why are y'all talking like that?
You know what I'm saying? But y'all do not talk like that in Asia.
Right,
You
man.
not
Y'all
talk
family
like
do
that.
not understand
You a
y'all.
robe and everything. Who's on?
How?
Right, man. Brothers they done got they facial hair, you know, got the Jake mustache, the skinny Jake mustache.
Like, he could be Jay. I don't know.
He
Soul
could
patch
be.
beard.
You
He got
never know.
the Obadiah going on.
You never know, man.
In mine, like he trying to be like me though.
Yeah.
He's trying to be like me.
It's the same thing for even success. And that's what blew my mind. So you have to put yourself in a position for success where nothing else can be an option. So for you to, like, let's say, be distracted with something, if you cut out that option completely, there's only one path.
Yeah.
You literally close a door that only leads you to one other path.
Yeah.
What he's saying is sometimes we get in our own way. Sometimes we add, you know, and the brothers talk about this all the time. We talk about how sometimes females, you know, don't shoot the messenger. But sometimes females, man, they put too much stuff in their own way. And next thing you know, they're stressed out. They got too much on their plate. And, you know, a lot of times it comes from a good place. They're trying to be superwoman, right? And their eyes are bigger than their plate. But what happens is they start falling short. And because they fall short, now they're out of the spirit. Now they might say something they shouldn't. Now they might do something that they shouldn't because they're overwhelmed, right? And that's because, you know, you get in your own way. And men get in their own way too. And, you know, we add stuff into our life that we probably shouldn't add. And then next thing you know, we doing something that we never thought we would do, right? So we got to be good stewards of our own life. A lot of times people talk about stewards over possession, but your life is a possession too. The Most High God gave you your life as a gift, man. It's a possession. You got to be a good steward over what you let in your life.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But then that's a whole different, I guess, conversation of what's worth closing doors on. If sometimes you have to close doors on friends, family, sadly, relationships, whatever it may be, but you choose one.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yo,
Hey, that's right there tough. Sometimes you got to close the door on some tough things, right? And, you know, that's what being a man and being a woman is being able to make that tough decision to close doors on things you know do not add to your life, right? You know, it might be that girl. You know that, you know, she's not good for you, but she's so fine, and you kind of turned on by her attitude. You know what I'm saying? You kind of turned on by the way that she call you out your name. Brother, it's gonna lead to your demise later on in the future, though. Right? Now you done laid in bed and had kids with this girl, you know what I'm saying? And now y'all married, and now she a little crazier. But brother, you was playing around with that. What was fun back in the day ain't fun no more.
Hey, so that remind me of that movie. Hey, I think A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, right? With Martin Lawrence. He was like what you would call like a player, right? And he was talking to the older woman named Brandy, and you know he kind of got her where he got her where he wanted her. Then found out she was crazy. When she was trying to tell him she was crazy, but in the beginning, but he wasn't trying to hear that. He lay with her, then she crazy, but he fell for her looks though. So it can't be like that, man. Looks fade. You know, people get old. You ain't gonna always look the same how you look when you're 20, 25, 30. People get old. That's why you can't fall for looks. Can't be the only thing that attract you to somebody. That makes sense.
And you know, the heart is deceitfully wicked. who can know it? That goes with this. I didn't have that precept in the lineup, but that precept, is cold because that's what it is. Your heart has been deceiving you. You think you can handle more than what you can. And a lot of times it'll deceive you to where you think you should leave a door open that really should be locked. Right. And even for women, they say that the good guy always loses. Why? Because the women always chose the bad guy. And then, the woman is going through hell because she chose the bad guy. Because guess what? It'll catch up to you.
Yo, facts. The biggest temptation in this house is Lily 2K. You know how big I would have been by now, though.
But they laughing, but sometimes, 2K might be that door you need to close, right?
He look like a gamer. He go to sleep on the game, so it might be.
I think all Asians gamers, to be honest, man.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
That goes. Even for me, like I had to learn when to close the door for basketball. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of stuff that that some people you gotta close the door on. For example, if your hobby for example, like if you were really big into art, right? And for example, my wife is into art, but I'm not talking about her. It's somebody else that I know.
Sure.
I'm not talking about her, but it's somebody else I know that because they actually fell out the truth and went back to what they were doing, right? They knew that they loved to like make art of explicit stuff. And when they fell out the truth, they started, painting those explicit stuff again. But what happened was you playing with something that you shouldn't be playing with. That you tempted to paint this and to paint that, right? To illustrate this and to illustrate that. And you playing too close on a thin line, right? And a lot of times, that's what it is. You gotta know your limits. And then once you know your limits, you can't play with your limits. Right. So it could be anything from painting, it could be basketball, it could be sports, it could be singing for some people, right? Some people, you need to close the door on singing because you just love singing them R&B songs. And then when you sing them R&B songs, your spirit changed, the people around you change, right? So it could be anything, man, that's causing you to be in the way of temptation. Nonetheless, that's it on that video, man. Let's get into the Bible. Right. We read Judges already. Let's read this to preface. Genesis 39:1. This is going to be a good precept to what was put in the chat earlier.
This is Genesis chapter 39 and verse 1.
I mean, 11. Salakia.
Genesis 39 and 11. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within.
Come on, man. So we're talking about Joseph. Right.
Verse number 12. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out.
See, some people might have been like, I'll lay with you. I ain't gotta know you. I ain't gotta have no intercourse with you. I'll just lay down with you. How many of y'all know brothers like that'll just lay down with a girl? Next thing you know, they got babies on the way. But it started off with, we just was cuddling, we just was Netflix and chilling. Because you keep laying down, you keep playing with it, it's gonna come back and get you. It's gonna come back and get you, man. Right? And so this is a good example of not fighting lust, but running from it, right? It says, and he fled and got him up. He got up out of there, right? He got up out of there. So it's a good example, right? As a camp, man, we use this. We go to this a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of my favorite precepts in the Old Testament, right? One of my favorite Psalms, right? Let's go to Psalms 119 and 59. Obadiah, if you could. You on mute.
My fault. Psalm chapter 119 and verse 59. I thought on my ways and turned my feet into thy testimonies.
Verse 60.
I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
Yeah, man, you can't take your time. You can't delay, man. Everybody that you tell this truth to and you tell them right from wrong, and the people that say, I got my own walk with the Most High. I got my own walk with God. God knows my heart. Man, I got it under control, right? Them people that delay it, them the people you got to worry about, man, because they're letting you know they know what they're doing is bad, but they're telling you, I'm not going to stop right now. That's a good, they try to dress it up, but that's what they're saying. They're saying, I know it's bad, but I'm not going to stop right now. And God's okay with that. No, he's not okay with that. He said, delay not. And so I oftentimes, whenever I'm talking to somebody, I tell them after reading this, think about everybody in the Bible that you idolize. They stopped what they were doing cold turkey from Genesis all the way to Revelation. The people that you want to be like, they stopped what they were doing cold turkey. Even when you look at the disciples, you know, he said, follow me. I'll make you fishers of men. What they do? They cast their nets down. They cast their rods down, and straightway, it says, shout out to Pastor Dow, straightway, they follow him, right? They followed him straightway, meaning, hey, look, they did not delay. And that's in the New Testament. They didn't take time to think about it. It didn't say that they went home and convened with their families. It didn't say that. They straightway, right? When he talked to Abraham, get you up out of the land of the Chaldees, he got up out of there, right? When he told Noah, hey, build this ark, Noah ain't asked no questions. He built that ark. You know what I'm saying? These people did stuff cold turkey. That's what I'm trying to get at. You got to get to the point to where you do stuff cold turkey. I know I shouldn't be smoking, but you know, I got this vape pen and it's supposed to wean me off. No, you got the spirit, bro. You have a power of God. Don't deny it, right? You have the power to rule over these objects in life. Stop smoking. You're not a smoker no more. Tell yourself, I'm not a smoker no more. Don't smoke no more. You don't need that vape pen and decrease your percentages of nicotine every month. You don't need to do that, because guess what? Before you know it, you're gonna be on 5%. You're gonna make it down to 5% and just stay there, and everybody gonna be like, you still smoking? Yeah, you know, I'm 3 days sober. Next time somebody see you, I'm 4 days sober. I thought you were just 3 days sober. It's because you're playing with it, man. You're playing with that sin, right? Khan, Shalom to the new wine congregation of Israel. Let's get this precept real quick, right? It said Job 34 and 32.
God, Psalms 119 and 60. It says, I made haste and delayed not.
Yeah, what are you doing, cuz?
I'm tripping.
We already read that, brother.
Brother moving in
Bro,
slow motion.
malfunctioning.
Hey, brother, malfunction. Hey, that's like when you in school and the teacher catch you sleeping. and you're like, oh yeah, it's two. Brother, like, bro, what you talking about? But nah, man. Job 34 and 32. You can read that though, Denal.
Job 34 and 32. It says, that which I see not, teach thou me. If I have done iniquity, I will do no more.
Right? Heavy on the I will do no more. Once you learn, you're not supposed to do it no more, man. You're not supposed to do it no more. Once you learn it, right? And that's what we do. We go out to teach people, right? So that they will know. And if they have done it, they're not supposed to what? Do it anymore. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good thing to pray too. A lot of times when we go to, I think even David prayed for the sins that he committed in his youth and stuff like that. Sometimes we might be doing iniquity and not even realize it, right? It's possible, you know. Sometimes, you know, our flesh can get in the way and cloud our judgment on certain things, right? So one thing that, you know, I used to pray a lot. I used to pray this every night, was that the Lord showed me my mistakes, especially if something's wrong going in my life. Because I'll be like, man, if I did something, man, show me what I did so I can get up out of the situation, so I can recorrect it. If I'm sinning in any aspect of my life, if I transgressed against one of my brothers or my sisters, if I offended somebody, let me know. That way I can correct it and I can get out of this funk, right? That's something I used to pray all the time. But Khan.
And another thing too, man, like I really like something that you learn, because I was really studying consistency, man. You know, just because that's something I was kind of still is struggle with consistency, just, you know, doing the same thing every single day. And I've been watching videos, man. They're like, bro, if I think the dude said if you can do something for 30 days straight, like it's gonna become part of your life. I don't know if I'm kind of drifting off from what the precept, but it's something that just came to my mind. Like, you know, if you trying to overcome something, you know, just say you're trying to overcome, you got a phone addiction or social media addiction. You just addicted to social media and stuff like that. Yeah, you know that you own that too much. You know, try put your phone or try to delete the app or do what you got to do for 30 days straight. Or you trying to work out, you trying to get in shape, be consistent for 30 days straight, and you're gonna continue on doing it. It's gonna be part of your life, man. So that's just something to push forward. If you're trying to be consistent in something, you have to do it. You have to continue to do it. You can't just do it 1 or 2 days or a week and then that's it. You have to, you know, continue to push yourself, and you're gonna fall. You might fall, then you might start working out, then tomorrow you stop, then you start back, then you stop, but eventually, if you keep getting back up, you're gonna get to the point where you're tired of falling. Like you're tired of not reaching the goal that you want for yourself, and you're gonna eventually, you know, achieve it. I kind of started rambling, but
that's facts though. You know what I'm saying? A lot. For example, like you were saying with social media, like a lot of brothers know you know, in the world you used to struggle with them sticky sites. You know what I'm saying? And now you got social media, and you know social media is crazy, right? They'll throw a lot of stuff on. When you type in you're the male gender on the social media, they'll throw a lot of stuff on your algorithm, and you may find yourself going down a rabbit hole of just scrolling and watching. You know you shouldn't be doing it, right? Next thing you know, you back doing what you was doing in the world, right? Because you ain't put it far from you. You didn't flee. You didn't run from that temptation. You put yourself in the line and in the road, bro. You put yourself in the middle of the road just to get hit by a car. When you should have, you know, I should have blocked that page. I should have reported that page. I should have took some time away from social media when I felt it was getting too out of control, right? And once again, you know, the thing about this lesson is this is all self, right? No other man or woman can do this for you. This is a self-restraint thing, right? This is a self-examination thing. This is, you know, working out your own salvation thing. That's what this is, right? Only you know what you struggle with. Only you know what you should not be around and what doors you need to close, right? For example, it could be like a boxer, right? Somebody's training to box and they know they leave their hand down. They don't guard their face. And their coach is saying, you're going to get clocked one day. I'm trying to tell you, you're not that good. You think you're good. Somebody going to clock. Somebody got your number one day. And, you know, he winning fights. You know, he 20-0. And then he run into that one boxer that clock him because he put his hand down.
Hey, they remind me of I think it's Creed. It's either the first or the second one. I think it's the first Creed. You know, when he was fighting overseas and he come back to America. I think he was fighting overseas. I know he come to the gym and he trying to fight, and the dude like, nah, I ain't gonna let you fight. So he hopped in anyway. And the first dude, Creed, he knocked out, right? And then he started bragging. He like, which one of your killers next? You pick who next. And then the dude walked in. He said, I'm next. And they put his record up. I don't even think he lost the fight, or he might have lost one. And he was trained, so he got in and he knocked Creed out, man. So it's like he was talking all that trash, but he met his match when the dude came in that actually was a professional and was actually boxing and knocked him out. So
I think he lost his Mustang too.
He lost his Mustang. Yeah, he had to give his Mustang up. Even though he ended up winning it back on the second Creed, but he still had to give his Mustang up.
Nah, he won it back on the third one.
You sure?
Yeah, that what you talking about happened on the second one.
Oh, it happened on the second one?
Yeah.
Well, he lost his Mustang on the first one.
Yeah, on the first one.
Yeah, he lost his Mustang on the first one. And that was what got him, you know, into, I guess you could say, becoming. That was him leading up to be Creed. But he ended up winning it back.
Because that's when he was still had that office job.
Right. He had just quit his office job, went to that gym when he went to Philly, learning how to box, and he challenged dude.
Yeah, he not the first dude out though, but
That's what it
second
is,
dude.
though. In life, we think that we're stronger than what we are. Because we win some battles, we think that we're stronger than what we are, man. And that's the scary part of life, is we don't know what's around the corner, right? We may think we got it under control, but we don't know what's around the corner. Just thinking back on people I've met and being in this truth, it's people I know now. I would have never thought life would have hit them the way it hit them, right? And that they would be in the situations that they in now, right? It's crazy. Some of the people that you thought was steadfast, I mean, they the worst of the worst, because they was playing with that temptation. They couldn't get that temptation off their back, and they let it linger, right? And it opened them up. And not only them, but it opened up people around them to be affected. That's when it really get dangerous. Even like the story of Samson, like we're finna go into, you leaving the nation defenseless. You was our savior at the time, right? I want to watch this video real quick, and then we'll get the last two passages.
Don't put yourself in situations where you are going to fail, where you're going to sin, where you're going to do something that you have no business doing. Don't even put yourself, in that position to begin with. If you feel like it's wrong, it's probably wrong.
God, the Most High give everybody that inclination, that thought, like, I shouldn't be doing this. Nah, this ain't right. Everybody feel guilty when they, sometimes you can't even explain why you hesitant to do something, or why you don't want to say what you're doing. And a lot of times it's because you feel guilty. That's because God gives us an inclination that, hey, I shouldn't be around these folk. I shouldn't be around this substance. I shouldn't be doing this thing, right? But a lot of times, we put that out our head and we're like, nah, I'm overreacting. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Yeah, because I remember in the Bible, so-and-so, you start, putting two and two together. Now, you done deceived yourself into being around something that can take you out. Then you asking, why, God? Why me? Why me? How did this happen? Well, first of all, you wasn't prudent. You didn't foresee the evil, right? That's all that was. You didn't foresee the evil. But, God does that's the one thing about God. When you sit back and examine yourself, you'll be like, dang, God did try to show me. God did. When you be honest, be like, God did try to tell me. God did say she wasn't for me, man. I went against the grain. Yeah, God did say he wasn't for me. He showed me multiple times he wasn't for me. But I went against the grain, right?
And even if it isn't wrong, if it feels wrong, just go ahead and take that extra step to step away from that kind of a situation, go to something different, remove yourself, and then really actually think about it. Don't put yourself.
Really actually think about it. I like the fact that he said it, but you also got to remove yourself, man. You got to remove yourself. Sometimes you got to listen too. Like, as we finna get into Samson, we're not going to read the part where his parents warned him, but sometimes you got to listen to your parents. Sometimes you got to listen to the people that can see stuff that you can't see, right? Let's get this precept real quick, and then we're going to get into the story of Samson. 1 Corinthians 6 and 18.
1 Corinthians 6 and 18, it says, flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
Man. Flee, run away from fornication, man. When you commit sin, this is literally saying like you're slick in an outer body experience when you commit sin, right? You're literally being possessed by the flesh, right? It's not your spirit, because your spirit is not willing to do it. Your spirit don't want to do it, right? That's that guilt that you feel, but you're literally being possessed, and it's out of the body. It's an out of body experience when you commit sin, right? That's why a lot of times people can commit sin after they commit it. They're like, what did I just do? Why did I do that? How could I do that? It's because you got possessed. Your flesh took over, right? But he that committed fornication sinneth against his own body. Remember, I said these bodies are a possession. We got to steward these bodies. We have to be good stewards of our possessions, and our body is a possession. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna say this, man. I ain't gonna get too explicit, but even when even when and every man probably went through when they was younger and they was exposed to those websites, right? I'm gonna say that those websites. And I'm saying this because the brother as real, he get a good point. Like when you doing those things, it's not you. Like you really like look at like at a phone, like what's the wrong looking for? Not hypnotized, but you're really like, hey, what's the wrong?
Like
In a trance. Then what I want. What you said? What you had? What word you said, King?
Like in a trance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like in a trance, it's like you looking at your phone and you just staring at it, and you just after you do what you do, it's like what the, and you swipe off and you get off your phone. You're like, I ain't never doing that no more. That's nasty. So like the brother got a good point, man. It's like when you sin, especially when you do like lust, and that's not you, man. That's not you. You snap back out of it when you done. Like, hold up, man. I should have did. That's crazy. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
Because
some brothers, if they're out in public and they know they see an attractive girl and they know they got a problem with lusting after random women, they'll look down, man. You know what I'm saying? That girl could come and talk to them, ask them directions, and they looking down the whole time. Yeah, it's over there. You know what I'm saying? Because you know your limits, man. You know your limits. Proverbs 22:3, put in the chat. It says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil." This is staple, man. This is staple. "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself." Right? It don't say, and he keeps track of it. He keeps track of the evil. He puts the evil in the back of his head to take note of it. Right? It doesn't say, he foresees the evil and then he still proceeds and he's careful about the evil. No, it says he hides himself from it. That means once you see something that is possibly bad in the future, you do whatever you can do to not make that happen. You hide yourself from it. It says, "But the simple pass on and are punished." The people is like, yeah, but that would never happen to me. Yeah, I understand that might get happen, but I don't see that happening to me. I'm too smart, man. I'm too witty. I'm too witty, man. Like I got the spirit. That couldn't happen to me. Look, you simple because you just passed on, and now look at you, punished. Right? Salakia. Let's go. Judges. Right? We're going to start at verse 15. This is the story of Samson. At this point, she has already tried about 2 times to figure out what could weaken Samson, right? If you don't know about the story of Samson, give you some homework after this lesson, go read the story of Samson, right? But Samson is, he playing with her. Samson's like, he think he have it under control. He think he knows what to tell her. He thinks he knows how to, play the card and just, it's not that serious. But then Samson finds something out. Judges 16 and 15. You can read this.
Judges 16 and 15. It says, "And she said unto him, How canst thou say, I love thee, when thy heart is not with thee? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth."
Right? So he was mocking her, pretty much, playing with her. She kept asking where his strength lies, and he kept lying to her, right? Like, I know I shouldn't be with this girl right now because, like, why is she even asking me this question, right? But I got it under control. I'm going to just keep lying to her. A lot of us, we play with sin like that. We play with temptation like that in our mind, right? We find a way to be Jacob. What does Jacob mean? To supplant. We find a way to supplant out of things. And then, we keep doing it. We keep doing it. We think we got it under control until we don't. Right? Verse 16.
Verse 16, it says, "And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death."
Right? So she pressed this man daily. She kept asking daily. That temptation, once you let that temptation linger, it's going to get stronger. Right? That temptation, it's going to get more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Once you let that temptation, whatever it is, you let it linger, It's gonna urge you until it vexes you. You let them people that you shouldn't be around you. That temptation, that peer pressure is gonna vex you. All right, okay, I'll take a shot. Next thing you know, you an alcoholic again. Bro, okay, I'll take one puff, bro. It's not a sin. It's not technically a sin, bro. I'll take one puff. Next thing you know, you blowing it down. You taking them to the face. You rolling up. You selling, right? You done told that boy, no, I'm waiting till marriage. No, you got to talk to my dad. You done told that boy, no, I don't want to lay down with you. And now you done cuddled with him so much. It's been months. Y'all pretty much shacking up at this point. Y'all sleeping together every night. Guess what? You get tired of telling that boy no. How many of us know girls like that? Get tired. I got tired of saying no because they get vexed unto death.
They just like in Training Day, man, when the brother Denzel was trying to get white buddy to smoke that weed, and he kept saying no, and Denzel kept antagonizing him. Finally said, "All right, man, give it here. I'll smoke it, man." And then he looked at her and he said, "My nigga."
Hey, I want to real quick, man. That's a good example. I want to find that real quick.
Get it in your lungs, dog.
Hey, I can't out telling the truth, man. Hey, if you that's why it's good to never don't put yourself in what the world just came up. But don't put yourself in situations that's going to have you
You were trained very well.
Don't put yourself in situations, man, because if you're around people that's maybe going off, Satan gonna tell you, oh, it's cool, I can handle that, I can be around them, knowing you can't be around them, and it's okay. If you was in the world, you was a pothead. I'm talking about you smoke pot, like you had the little bong and you smoking, you was a pothead. Don't be trying to go around your friends that's still smoking weed, because you're going to get tempted, and spirits hop. So you might not be tempted right away, but when you get home, what you said, King?
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna let you go after this. I just want to say this before I forget, since you was on the weed thing. Like, brothers might be trying to bring out the word, and they partner. You mind if I roll up? They talk through their nose. You mind if I roll up, bro? And you be like, nah, you good, man. But listen to this. And you know what I'm saying? You letting this brother roll up because you don't want to seem too judgmental. But now he's smoking while you're reading the scripture, and that smell of ganja is hitting your nose. You like, man, I miss that smell.
He blowing the smoke in your face.
Right. My bad, bro. My bad. I ain't mean to smoke it. I ain't mean to blow it in your face, bro. Keep going though. And now he blowing. You can't even focus on the scriptures no more. Like, come on, man. That's a good point. Go ahead.
Yeah. You basically said what I was saying, man. Don't be around people that's that's gonna bring old past back to life. That's why you gotta become a new creature and separate from that. That don't mean that you gotta hate them people, but just know that you're on a different path than a lot of people is. You was called to do something different. So keep that in mind, man. Also, another thing I want to say, fair use. This video for educational purposes only, and the language might be a little explicit, so we're going to put it out there. It might be a little explicit, but it's good for the lesson.
Come on, man. We'll try to be on it as we play this video.
Check that out. It's a shitty dime. See the small hairs, undeveloped seeds, all the stems in it. See how immature it is? That's classic brick pack Mexican. That's garbage. It's old too. Shit's probably from last year. To be truly effective, a good narcotics agent must know and love narcotics. In fact, a good narcotics agent should have narcotics in his blood.
That didn't make sense what he just said.
Yeah, sometimes you put yourself in the wrong situation, something foolish starts to sound smart to you.
Right.
Because they say whatever the foolishness is, it's so aggressive and it's so bold. You gotta be like, the only way somebody could be saying that is if they know it to be true. The only way that this temptation could be this aggressive is if it's true, like if and then you start giving into it.
Smoke that? Nope, you are. Hell if I am. Yeah, nah. No.
You see that look he got on his face?
Satan, boy.
Temptation and lust looking at you like that. Because temptation and lust, they got your number. You may thinking that you good, like you straight, but temptation and lust knowing I got the wheel. I'm driving the car. You in the car. It's too late. like it's too late. You don't know it's too late, but you're not in control of this. You ain't in control of nothing. You were sitting in the passenger seat. That's what temptation and lust is looking at you like.
Are you a Mormon or something? Jesus freak? Nah, man, no, this is my job. This is your job. I can't do that. Smoke it. Huh? Say the test. Just take a hit. Take a hit. Man, listen, I became a cop to stop.
And that's what Delilah was doing. You love me, right? You with me, right? You laying down with me, right? Just tell me. It's gonna be all right. I mean, hypothetically, what would happen?
Samson said, look, I became a Nazarite because I love the Lord. I can't cut my hair.
And eventually, that pressure got to him.
People. Blah, 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 blah. It's not a review board, it ain't cocaine. Take a hit. No, man.
What Delilah said, you said you love me. She done played the love card. You said you love me. She done, hold up now. I ain't finna keep laying with you if you're gonna keep mocking me and lying to me. You say you love me. That's what, in the spirit, that's what it looks like right here. Right?
Sometimes temptation and sin might feel like it got you by the head like this right here, right? The Most High God said he never put you in a situation where you can't climb out, though. All Buddy had to do was open the door and walk away. You know what I'm saying? That's all he had to do. But sometimes temptation feels like somebody putting a gun to your head. That's why it's important to understand the situations that you're in before it gets to this point.
Come on, man.
Brother Obadiah, you're on mute. Oh, okay.
Man. A lot of times, especially when you evangelize to people and they have addictions, they feel like a gun is to their head. They feel like they don't know how to live without it. They feel like they can't live without it, right? They feel like they're going to die.
If I was a dealer, you'd be dead by now, motherfucker. You turn shit down on the street.
So lucky for the language.
She brings your wife a crisply folded flag. The fuck is wrong with you? Talking about, you know what? I don't want you in my unit. I don't want you in my division. Get the fuck out of my car.
He just talking, bro.
Yeah, that's Delilah. You know what? I don't think I love you no more because you don't love me.
He told me if he was a dealer, he would have been dead in the street. So he supposed to just take what the dealer give him.
And look at his face, though, right? A lot of us, man, that's that trance that you was talking about, Buck.
Yeah.
Like, that's that trance. A lot of us, that temptation get aggressive. That temptation get aggressive out of nowhere. And now you find yourself stuck like,
Virgin lungs.
In the middle of the street,
Man up, nigga. Man up. Go ahead, y'all. You get it. Go. Yo, shut your fuck up and just wait.
now you're doing it more than once. You're like, well, I already did it. I guess I got to prove my point. I got to show that I can get down.
And then, the crazy part is, if you know this movie, you know why he's making him smoke this weed, right? You know why he's making him do it. But the same thing with temptation and Satan, right? He knows he makes it seem like it's all gonna be okay, but at the end of it, it's always a setup. It's always a setup, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like this, it was a setup, right? To have his number, right? To force him, to manipulate him to do something he didn't want to do, right? Something that he had no leg to stand on after he had this in his system, right?
Man, everything is spiritual, right? If the enemy can get you to sin, them walls of defense come down. You can get attacked. You can get played. you can get beguiled, right? You can get deceived because why? You opened yourself up for attack when you committed sin, right? And the thing I want to also, bring to mind is a lot of times when that temptation get aggressive with you and you give in, that temptation don't stop being aggressive, right? As we gonna read in this Delilah situation, like it didn't. She got aggressive, urged them, but it got worse. It didn't calm down. And what you see, he's like, nah, hit it again, right? Them spirits gonna come 7 times harder, man.
Right, that's what happens, man. You do it one time, it's never enough.
Man the fuck up. That
That's how
That's Satan, boy.
these demons.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how these demons, these enemies, man. This is spiritually, that's what they doing. They cussing at you, they laughing when you do it, man. And you lost. You lost. Now your life is in shambles. You done did some stuff you can't return from.
This was a very key point in his manipulation against the brother, against Buddy, right? And this was one of the things where like it was a make or break, because if he didn't get these narcotics in his blood, the white boy could have went and snitched on him, right? Well, guilt free, you know what I'm saying? But now that he has this stuff in his blood, this would made the white boy not been able to snitch on him, you know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna make him look like a liar, and that he was under the influence, so his judgment was cloudy, right? And so this was such a pivotal time, is because all he had to do was say no, and Alonzo would have went outside. It's the same thing spiritually. All you gotta do is say no, bro, and the enemy's gonna go outside. One no could save you from a whole heap of stuff that you can't even see in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be able to take those chances, those windows, those small little opportunities to get out of bad situations.
Yeah, and what temptation and lust does is it's foolishness, right? But they'll try to make the foolishness seem smart by comparing it to wisdom. For example, in this situation, we know that police officers got to get maced in the face and they got to get tased. Why? So that they understand what they're going to inflict on somebody else. So what did he do here? How you gonna stop drug dealers? You don't know how to sell drugs and you don't know what the drugs feel like in your system, right? It's the same like when you got tased, or the same when you got maced in the face. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what they feeling. And now it seems smart to you, like, yeah, you're right. I do gotta experience being high. How am I supposed to know how to fight what they're going through if I don't even know what they're going through? Right? You said something, you was on mute.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
And I was just saying that's madness.
Yeah, so that's how sometimes foolishness can seem like wisdom, man. And that's why you gotta stay away from foolishness.
Let's go, nigga. Let's go.
And now you feel like now you feel like, okay, I finally made her happy. I finally made him happy, right? I finally got that off my chest. I got that feeling. That thing was on my mind all week. And now it's not on my mind no more because I did it. It's over with. No, it's going to get worse, right? Let's go back to the passage, right? It says, vexed him unto death. Let's go to verse 17. You on mute.
Verse 17 says that he told her all his heart and said unto her, there has not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak, and I'll be like any other man.
Right? So, it get to a point to where that temptation, that lust that you thought you had it under control, it blow up on you. Now you feeling bad for doing the right thing.
Right.
Go ahead.
The crazy part is the same part where Jake in the car, he said, man, you sound crazy, man. I became a police officer to fight crime and to put bad guys away, right? He's telling this to Delilah, and Delilah's acting like Alonzo. All she's saying is blah, 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 blah. Hey, man, hit this, right? Yeah, all that sound good, But do you want me or not?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can really kind of save your breath.
And you know, this is the thing. You can't have your cake and eat it too. That's what it boils down to. Samson's parents said, do not mess with them Philistine women. He said, I got it under control. I love her. You know, I'm smart enough. The Most High, you know, he dealing with me. I'm good. And then, you know, when she started, you know, asking how, you know, what weakens him, he's thinking, man, I expected this to happen. She a Philistine woman. Like, I'm just going to play with her, though. I got it under control until you don't.
Hey, and then, you know, when Alonzo put that gun out, that was like another level of temptation. Because he probably would have never smoked it if he never put the gun out on him. So it's like that him putting that gun out on him is like when you're going through temptation, it may seem little at first, and then it's going to get extreme to the point where if you don't flee right away right now, like if you don't say no, you're done. Like you stay in that situation, you stay in that car, you stay in that house, you're done.
Yeah. You know, temptation knows its levels, right? Temptation knows that there's levels to weaken you. And so since it knows that, it's for example, like you said with the gun, he tried talking him into it. He tried giving him examples of why he should do it. Then he tried belittling him and joking about him. Then when that didn't work, he's like, okay, I got the gun. So he knows your weaknesses. He knows what you're probably going to be scared. That's what temptation and lust does. It knows what is your trigger and what's your last straw. Delilah, she said, you know what? He loves me. I know that. And, you know, I'm going to try just asking first because, you know, I think he loves me enough to just give it to me because I asked. Then when that didn't work, then she's, you know, crying. I'm going to try crying. He can't stand to see me sad. I know he won't lie to me. Then after that didn't work. She's like, you know what? I'm going to threaten to break up with this man because I know he don't want to lose me. And then that was the last straw. He gave her all his heart, right? Because temptation knows its levels and they're going to try you a little bit. Then they're going to keep getting aggressive, man. Before you know it, they too aggressive and they got your number and they, you know, got you right where, you know, you can't go nowhere, right? Let's go to verse 18.
Verse 18. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he has showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand.
Right. So a lot of times that thing that you think you got under control, you don't even know how bad it is. It's worse than you could have thought. Not only did she use what you told her in confidence against you, what you thought you was doing in secret, right? Whatever temptation or lust you thought you was doing in secret, now it's coming to the light. Now, guess what? That thing that you thought you was playing with, right? You was texting in secret. You was dealing with this person in secret. You was dealing with this issue in secret. Hide your folly, hide your folly, but don't hide your wisdom, right? You done did all that and you thought you had to get it under control until it's now public information. She done told everybody, right? Lust and temptation done got out. Now everybody know what you're doing, right? Let's go to verse 19.
Verse 19, it says, and she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him.
Right. And once you give temptation and lust enough information, enemy enough information, you think they won't use it? The enemy gonna use it. These wicked principalities, they gonna use it. They're not playing around with you.
Yeah, brother. Brothers know you kind of like your wife to play, you know, kind of play in your head, your hair and stuff, man. Rub your head and stuff, man. If you know that, bruh, and you know she's been plotting on cutting your hair, bruh, you don't even put yourself in that predicament to where, you know what I'm saying, she start rubbing your scalp and it start feeling good and you start dozing off, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of signs that happen in this passage where he could have found his way out, like the scriptures say, right? But you gotta be able to take them. You gotta. When you got an out, you gotta take it,
right? And you don't think, you know, a lot of times men and women, we think about certain things that we struggle with, and we thinking It's a good thing this didn't happen. It's a good thing this wasn't here at this place and this time. It's a good he wasn't there. It's a good thing she didn't say this to me. I might have did this. I might have folded. I might have X, Y, and Z. You thinking those thoughts, right? You may even say them out loud. You don't think the enemy's listening. You don't think the enemy is taking notes. And then next thing you know, it just appears out of nowhere. Whatever you were saying, good thing that didn't happen. I would have did this. Next thing you know, it happened. Why? Because the enemy got your number, man. The enemy wants to destroy you, kill and destroy and lie to you, right? And that's why you shouldn't even play with it. Because guess what? You're going to lose, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. You're going to lose if you play with it. You're going to lose. The Most High made that. The Most High made Satan. You're going to lose, bro, if you play with it. That's why the Most High is saying don't play with it. Right? Let's read this verse 20.
That's like that song. They would be like, don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it.
Come on, man. That's that spiritual algorithm, man. You know, we be on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, man. We be talking about something. Next thing you know, you open your app and it's right there in front of your face. That's that spiritual algorithm, though. You know what I'm saying?
You know, now that you say that, I forgot the name, what it's called, man, but it's actually new technology that does that. Right, BCIs, right? There's technology in headphones that you buy and smartphones that you buy now. It's called brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, that use non-invasive methods like EEG, right? Sensors to detect brain activity and interpret thoughts. So if technology can interpret your thoughts and send you advertisements, you don't think spirits can? Look, they done found a way to read your mind, bro. They done found a way to read your mind, bro. And you over here playing with your sin and your temptation, thinking you're going to overcome Satan. Okay. Okay. Right? You can't even overcome your Apple phone. You can't even overcome your Galaxy phone, right? It got your number. Right? Let's go to Judges 16 and 20.
Judges 16 and 20. It says, and he said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep, and he said, I will go out as the other times before and shake myself. And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him.
Right? Before you know it, the Lord has departed from you. He gave you over to that reprobate mind. You doing God knows what. You don't even know how you got here, and you feel too far gone to even come back. That's why. Why? Because you lost control. So don't be like Samson, man. Don't lose control, man. The brothers got any precepts? That was the last one I got for the night, man.
I got one precept, man. 1 Corinthians 9. I want to read 24 and finish the chapter out. I think it's only like 27 verses, but because we mentioned creed earlier, and this goes kind of with the lesson.
1 Corinthians 9 and what?
Start at verse 24.
Yeah, it got 27. It says, 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 24, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain.
So in short, man, to wrap it up the lesson, you know, it's like life is like a race that we all run in, you know what I'm saying? But it's for a prize. And a lot of times we don't think about how the temptation that Satan comes and ushers in, right? It's so that way we won't obtain the prize that we're looking for, right? But let's read this.
Verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now, they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
Right. So we got to remember that, like it says, they would strive at that the mastery is temperate in all things. We have to be temperate in all things. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what man buildeth the house and not counteth the cost thereof, you know? And you got to think about even in the simplest things when it's applying to fornication and lust, you got to consider the cost that this great sin may cause you to give up, right? Just like Samson, he was supposed to be a Nazarite unto the Lord until the day of his death, but he didn't even know the Lord departed from him because of how he gave in to his temptation, how he gave in to his fleshly desires, right? So we gotta be, I guess you could say, have a level head at any given time. We can't never afford not to be watching, not to be prudent, not to be aware of the situation and our surroundings and what's going on. You got to make sure that you're aware of these things, because at the end of the day, it's just like it says in 1 Peter 5:8. Satan is like a lion seeking whom he may devour. But let's read 26 and 27.
Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Verse 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
Right. And that's going for those who even teach the word, right? Like Sirach says, there's one who is wise and teacheth many, yet is unprofitable to himself. It's no point of coming out here teaching the word and you know that others will get it, but because you won't bring in subjection, the fleshly things that you're dealing with, you can't receive the kingdom. I'm not going out on the Sabbath day just to teach the kingdom to others, and behind closed doors, I'm doing whatever it takes not to get the kingdom. That's not what I'm trying to do. I want the kingdom for myself too. Of course, I want it for those who I come encounter with. The word is made for the sick, but that doesn't mean the people who are healed can't receive it. So that's why it's important to fight. Just talking about creed. That's why it's important to be temperate. That's why it's important to flee fornication, because again, like it starts out in verse 27, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. Like it says in 2 Corinthians 10 and 4 and 5, that we bring all those thoughts into captivity that will cause us to go astray. So we got to make sure that we're doing an elite job of doing that and learn from the mistake that Samson made, because even though it's spiritual, the spirit can manifest in the person that you think that loves you the most. So you got to always be temperate and always watch, right? But with that, I yield. Mighty lesson.
Come, man. Good thing to add to that, man. It's a good thing to add to the lesson that, we find ourselves, telling people around us that I'm going to be a police officer. I'm going to stop crime until we're doing the crime. We find ourselves doing the crime, and now we're a castaway. You know what I'm saying? And being a castaway means like you drifting off to the sea. If you know how big the sea is, hey, and you cast away, it's no coming back. You ain't got no way to get back. It's over with, right? So you don't want to be that, man. You don't want to tell somebody how to build a boat, tell somebody how to use the oar to stroke the water so you can move the boat, yet you don't know how to use it. And now you a castaway. Pecan, man. Any other brothers got any other precepts before we end this?
Man, mighty class, King.
Man. With that, so Freestyle Friday, man. I hope this lesson was enjoyable and edifying. And like our big brother Christ said, man, if you're not gathering the sheep, you just scattering them. So gather together, O nation not desired. We will be downtown Cherry Street. Are we gonna be in Cherry Street tomorrow? So we'll probably be in Valdosta, Georgia. Probably at a mall, I believe, or on campus, one of those two. So just stay tuned. Keep an eye out for our social media if you want to pull up. But with that being said, we're your brothers of the hopeful elect, Brother Denal, Brother Obadiah, Brother Isaiah, and Brother Azrael. And we say Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, man.